Mr. Donnelly, you may proceed.
He's got it over to me.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, mine's.
Mr. Donnelly, would you please move to Mr. Morrell's microphone? Mr. Donnelly, these are old microphones. They have 1,000 speech limits.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Oh, now that's working. I guess I wore that one out. You know, I'm trying to figure out what's in this bill, but the problem I'm having is the ink's not even dry, and I think it got smeared on my copy. So it's really hard to understand what's in this bill. But I have a question for the author.
Without objection, but with an admonition. We are at 10:40 p.m. You have absolutely every right to ask a question. We're giving you unanimous consent to ask a question. There is absolute understanding of the frustration that I believe every member of this House has with respect to how we got to where we are right now. So I would ask that we use questions of the author to actually ask questions. If we want to ask rhetorical points, we can use them without questions of the author, and we will credit you for the amount of time I just used in giving the admonition. You may proceed, Mr. Donnelly.
I appreciate that, Mr. Speaker. I have a sincere question because I really don't know, and I want to know. Did you take amendments that now narrow the bill because what I heard is that it might have benefited companies like Walmart to where they might have had some way to get some of these exemptions, and did you narrow the bill to eliminate that?
I appreciate the question, Mr. Donnelly, and the answer is no. And let me explain why. In the prior version of the bill, in SB 743, the exemption that we're talking about applies to a commercial or mixed-use project that has at least a floor area ratio of 0.75 or greater. That means that the project would have to be not only consistent with the specific plan, but it would also have to be virtually covering 3/4 or more of the lot. A Walmart as an example, a big box as an example that uses a very large floor plate with a large parking area would not meet that criteria. You would have to have a building that would go multiple stories. Now, that's not impossible. There is, I believe, a Costco in San Diego, for example, which is multiple stories, but it is not the business model or the land use plan typically of a big box layout. And so this does not eliminate or narrow, nor does it enlarge the particular kind of user. What it does is simply make it clear, because it was not clear in SB 743, that a project has to be consistent both with the specific plan and with the sustainable communities strategies that most of our communities and metropolitan areas across the state are adopting.
Is there any of my time left?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Well, back on whatever's left of my time, a simple yes or no would have been great, but you can't handle the truth. I urge a no vote.
And Mr. Donnelly, for the record, there was still over a minute of your time left after you completed. We will now go to Ms. Grove.